It's a tradition that began in 1966, and off we go on a Thanksgiving afternoon in Dallas.
This is taken just shy of the 10, and he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Come on. Hey. Check contact.
First play, and Hurts looking to throw it.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Micah Parsons has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
Well, this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. And not much there at all as he'll get this only up to about the 11. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. CD, with that last pass, he joined a group of about 50 other men that are over 30,000 career passing yards. So, look, he's not at the top, but that's pretty good company.
Yeah, it's not the most exclusive fraternity in the NFL, but it's a pretty good one, isn't it? You still have to put some numbers up in order to get in, okay? The secret knock is still there. How about it getting it done? Proud of it.
The Cowboys at 7-3 now on the year, and they've been in a great groove. Winners of 7 of their last 10 now on the year.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They go back to Pollard on 2nd down.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
What they talking about?
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score.
Tony Pollard with career touchdown number 60. And the Cowboys will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
This is taken just shy of the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses always factor into, how you're getting ready for the next game. But equally as important when you have the short turnaround, what is your injury situation? Are you losing key guys? And if so, how well have the backups prepared for this? Because you don't have much time to get them ready. They have to be ready before this week in order to play well in this game.
On second and a couple. Hurts. And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Micah Parsons. Now 2 sacks for him already here in this first quarter of play.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here's Hurts to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Earlier in the week when they had their scouting report meeting, this was the explosiveness that they talked about trying to contain. They were concerned about it all week, yet he still did it to them. Wonder how that's going to carry over the rest of the game.
Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Prescott off play action. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
And darn right, they did something to disrupt that timing.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Prescott. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys have taken the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. It sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. But Charles, this Thanksgiving tradition, so great. I mean, going back essentially through the full century of the NFL, I know you probably have a lot of fond memories of Thanksgiving Day football yourself.
I certainly do, and I don't have the Turkey Bowl tradition. You know, the families will go out and play and then come in and sit down to their feast and watch football. But I remember reading remember the Lions jumping on the Packers on Thanksgiving Day. The only loss the Packers had in 1962, and they sacked Bart Starr over 10 times in that game. And I remember Dave Williams from the Bears returning the overtime kickoff for a touchdown to win a game on Thanksgiving Day. I remember so many different things happening, but how much fun is it each and every year to know that you've got football?
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line.
Oh, man, partner, this is something cornerbacks love to do, and that's outthink a quarterback. If you get a sense that they're going to throw a quick out route or a quick hitch, you can just lay back an extra yard or two, but then really put your foot in the turf and drive on the football. And here I think he baited the quarterback into the throw and made it pay off.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. He's got a man complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one goes for 36 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Prescott. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong up.
Touchdown! 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point try now for Vedvik. It's good, and it is now 21-7. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high.
Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for them all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football, or you're going to cost your team chances.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
From the 44, Prescott. He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The timing was absolutely true as he caught it working across the field. Plenty of space for him to roam, but notice how he keeps his head on a swivel, looking for defenders who may crop up out of nowhere. That turned into a big play.
Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Definitely an important sequence here for this defense. They've had their share of struggles in this first half. They just cannot afford to give up another touchdown here.
Pollard again. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Tony Pollard with his 17th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together. and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
The job of any linebacker involves having enough strength to fight off a blocker and get to ball carriers. But in this case, I think we can safely say he beat him right off the snap to get into the backfield and make that play.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Looking deep downfield. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on 4th down. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final done.
Prescott looks to throw on 1st. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he's going to take this close to the 1st down marker as he stopped at the Eagles' 22. 70 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. On 3rd and 1, here's Prescott. He finds his man complete. That's Ferguson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Swinging this out for Pollard. Touchdown, Cowboys! 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here. Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. You know, thinking of this Thanksgiving Day game, Charles, for years we've heard the talk, why don't we open up these Thanksgiving Day games instead of just being Detroit and Dallas every year, give other teams a shot to host? I know you're kind of like me, a bit of a traditionalist, but
What do you have to say to that, CD?
I think it's a great argument, and the league could support it quite well, where you could move games to different spots and still be very successful on Thanksgiving Day. But you're exactly right. I am a traditionalist. I really don't want Detroit and Dallas to give up those slots. I like the fact that we watch them each and every year. But what I really like is that the league added a third game in 2006. And usually it's division rivals, but that's the third one of the day, and it caps off a great day of football.
Pat the street! Pat the street!
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
And Hurts is intercepted, his third of the game. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
Here's Prescott. Touchdown! Dak Prescott now 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon.
And the Cowboys will extend their lead here just before halftime.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
So we've hit halftime on Turkey Day here in Dallas. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Gonna run again here with Pollard. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 87 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
He'll go up top here for Hamler. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Hurts. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit as the offense takes the field again.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. And here's a quick throw to Hamler on the edge. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here comes Hamler on the jet sweep. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line.
A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. The goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
Pulls it in at the 13. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Okay.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Throwing is Hurts.
Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hurts. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This will be fielded at the 17.
So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material.
He'll go up top here for Hamler.
It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cowboys.
K.J. Hamler
with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year.
And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
On 2nd and 7, Hurts forced out to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Multiple players getting home there, and it's a loss of 2 on the sack.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line is taking charge and control of this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long, but a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
We're on to the 4th here on Thanksgiving Day.
Ready up.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page, because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get about 3 here up to the 44-yard line.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And the Cowboys are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great effort there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
149 yards rushing for him now as his fine rookie season continues.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. As they run the counter play. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they try the right side here. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 10.
Hey, check that. Street.
They'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
1st down, Prescott. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. 49 yards.
And the Cowboys add 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but The self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Looking left sideline, it's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6.
They'll look to throw here. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This one fielded at the 5. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would have, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Well, Prescott here to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Vedvik now for the extra point.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle is going to leave him about a yard or so short.